In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this skunk, and you'll need about 130 to 150 rubber bands to make the whole thing. So let's get started. Let's make his nose. For the nose, we're going to take a single and looping it 3 times to create 4 loops. Taking 2 single black rubber bands and pulling it right onto those rubber bands, the looped rubber bands, right onto the 2 single, like that, and loop the 2 singles right onto your hook. Taking a single white and loop it twice to create 3 loops. Since it's going on the face, we're going to take a single rubber band, black, pulling the white right onto the single, pulling the nose down, getting one side, should be 2 single rubber bands onto that single. Get it off the hook, grab, don't let it twist, you can take it off, grab the other side, and pulling our nose right onto a hook, like that, and put it on a hook for later. And now let's make the ears, taking a single rubber band, looping it 4 times on a hook, or looping it 3 times to create 4 loops. Taking a single black, double it, and getting it onto our hook, like that. And let's put it on a holding hook for later and create another ear. Same thing, taking a single, since this is my hook, I'm just going to leave it there. Taking a single, looping it 4 times or 3 times on my hook to create 4 loops. Taking a single, double it, and pulling the ears right onto my holding hook. Put it aside for later to add to our face. Now let's make the eyes. And I'm going to make it like the penguin's eye, taking a single blue, looping it 3 times to create 4 loops. Taking a single white, looping it twice on one side and twice on the other. Same thing for the other eye. Single rubber band, looping it 3 times to create 4 loops. Taking a single white, looping twice on one side and twice on the other. Now let's take a single rubber band, this will go on the face, and we're going to transfer the eye right onto that rubber band and try to keep it in that same order. You can make it whatever color you want. You can always fix it later. There's our eye. Let's put it on a holding hook for later. Now let's make the legs. And I'm just going to make it really simple. We're going to take a single, double it, and we'll do this 4 times. Single, double. Single, double. And for his little feet, we're taking a single and loop it 3 times to create 4 loops. And let's do this a couple more times on a loom for all 4 legs. So I'm just creating the 4 legs, taking a single, doubling it, and all the rubber bands that I'm using are Rainbow Loom brand rubber band. And on the end of each, I'm capping it off with 4 loops. Make the last one a little bit below that, and I'll loop it all at once. Okay, now that we have that, just go under each of the cap band and loop up all 4 legs and arms. Taking each off, and we'll put it all on a holding hook for later. So you should have a total of 4. If you want to make the back thigh thicker, you can by using 2 single rubber bands and doubling it, but that's up to you. I'm not going to. So let's do the tail, and a real skunk has white around the tail like this guy that I made, and you can make black with white in the center. That's up to you, but I'm going to make it like this one. First, we're going to take 2 single and put it from the top peg to the second peg. Taking a single white, we're going to take a single white down. We're coming down 4 times on the side. So first we went diagonally, and then we're coming down 4, 3, 4, and let's repeat on the other side. A single rubber band from the center to the side diagonally and coming down 4 with single rubber bands. And let's come down the center. We're starting with a black from the center, second to the third, and I am going to take 3 single rubber bands to make it a little thicker, put it from the third to the fourth, and just doing 2 single rubber bands from the fourth to the fifth, another 2, fifth to the sixth, and then we'll do the tip of the tail white, so 2 single rubber bands from the 6th to the 7th peg. And let's close it off, taking a single and putting it from the side peg to the center, and repeat on the other side. Push it down a little, making the tail a little sharper, taking 2 single white rubber bands, putting it on the end peg, down 1, and we'll go ahead and cap this off 4 times, looping it 3 times to create 4 loops. And let's put some holding rubber bands, taking a single white, doubling it, and we'll do this 4 times. There, there, single, double, there. So that's 4 triangles like that. And let's go ahead and go under the cap band at the very bottom, grab the bottom 2, and looping it right onto itself. In the next peg, grab the top single and loop it right onto itself, wherever it goes. The next one, grab the top single, looping it onto itself. The middle. Now let's do the sides. Just either side you want, just reach in there, grabbing the bottom single and looping it onto itself. Doing the other side now. Looping it up the sides all the way up to the second peg in the center, and now let's finish up the center, looping it all the way up. To the second peg, and now reaching that second peg, grabbing the bottom two bands and looping it right onto itself. And that's our tail. Let's put our holding hook and take it off the loom to add to our body later. There's our tail. You can pull it out a little to straighten out any, but it should be a little curved like that. That's okay, and pull any rubber bands later. Let's make the body. From the top, 2 single rubber bands, where I'm taking a white or 2 single whites and putting it from the center peg down 1, taking 2 single blacks, coming diagonally like that, and we'll come down 2 times on the side of the face, and then coming to the chin peg, and make sure you push the rubber band all the way down. Repeat on the other side diagonally, coming down twice with 2 single rubber bands, and then coming to the chin peg and pushing it all the way down, and make sure it doesn't overlap. Now let's finish the center of the face with 2 single whites from the second to the third peg, and then I'll use 2 blacks to close up my face. And that's my face. Now I'm going to the body, taking 2 single rubber bands, black ones, from the shoulder peg diagonally, or the chin peg diagonally for the shoulder. Same thing on the other side. And then I'll come down 3 with black, 2 single rubber bands, 1, 2, 3, and we'll come to the center, from the side to the center of the bottom. Repeat on the other side, 2 single rubber bands, coming down 3, and coming from the side to the center diagonal. Now let's do the center of the body. First I'm going to do 2 blacks from the chin peg down once, and now I'm going to add some white on the back to make the stripe. So taking 2 single rubber bands and putting it, you can do 3 if you want, from that peg to that peg, and we'll come down 2 whites the rest of the way to close up to his bottom there, like that. So his bottom is done, and now we are going to do the black in the center. We're taking 2 single rubber bands, looping it twice to create 3 loops, taking a single black and pulling it right onto the 3 we just looped. The 2 we just looped, and then pulling it across, and this also acts like the holding rubber band. And let's do that 2 more times. Taking 2 single black, looping it twice to create 3 loops, taking a single black, getting it right onto our single, and putting it from this peg to that peg. And one more time, taking 2 single rubber bands, looping it twice to create 3 loops, taking a single and pulling those rubber bands right onto the single. And there you have it. Let's put the tail on. For the tail, we're going to add it to this last peg. So take your holding hook with your tail and Let's add it. You can put it either way. There's some crisscross at the bottom. I'm just making sure crisscross comes up at the top, so that way we don't see it when we turn our skunk right side up. So let's add the eyes now, and we're going to add it from the second peg to the second peg across from the top of our loom, and separate our eyes. And now let's add the nose and put it from the third peg to the third peg across like that. Center it. Add our ears, and the ears will go on the first side peg on either side. Make sure you get all the rubber bands onto there. Repeat on the other side. And let's put some holding rubber bands, taking a single, creating a triangle around the eyes, taking another single, creating a triangle around the nose. Let's add the foot, the back legs, getting it on and putting it on the last peg near his bottom on both sides. Same thing on the other foot. And let's loop up. Go under the tail, grabbing the top two bands, it should be the white ones, and looping it right onto the center peg. Go back under the tail, grabbing the next two. Mine's coming to the left. Back in, grabbing the last two. And let's go up the side of the body, grabbing the bottom two. You can work on either side and stop on this peg there, the shoulder peg. Repeat on the other side, go under, grabbing the bottom two bands and looping it onto itself, creating teardrops. You want to see teardrops up and down your body. Now take your front arms, getting on your hook, grabbing the shoulder rubber band and pulling it, the arms right onto that rubber band and looping it up to the chin peg. Repeat on the other side, get your arm, grab the shoulder rubber bands, get your arms right onto there and looping it right to the chin peg. Now let's come up the center of the body, looping it all the way up, creating teardrops as we go, all the way to the chin peg. Check to make sure you have teardrops. Now we're going in the chin peg. Pull all the looped rubber bands back, the ones we just looped up, grabbing the top two single and loop up. And it should go right up to where the nose peg is. Go back in, grab the next two. Mine's coming to the left. And the last two, wherever yours goes, take it there. Let's do the side of the face. Just loop up right onto itself, creating teardrops. Lastly, the other side, we're looping it all the way up to the top peg there, the center peg. Let's finish up the center of the face and we'll be done. Reach up, pulling it right onto itself. Now we're taking a single rubber band, creating our slip knot. Tying it off, and we're ready to take him off the loom. There he is. You can fix all the rubber bands to get him to look like how you want him to look. Push out his eyes. Pull out his nose just a tiny bit, not too much. Pull the arms forward and the legs forward. You can push these rubber bands back, and if you want him to look up, go under the chin peg, pull all those, stick at the back of your hook, and pull those rubber bands up like that, and tuck in any loose rubber bands or rubber bands that are sticking out that you don't like. Tuck in the charm string if you want. And there's your skunk. I hope you like him. Thanks for watching.